Hey folks, today we're going to do a little bit more advanced drawing with Desmos, and I'm going to walk you through some examples. So over here is some instruction written in text that explains what you need to do. You can see that there is a shape here drawn on the screen. That shape is it has 6 sides and it's known as a hexagon. So this tells you that you can use as many lines as you need, but you need to make sure that you specify the domain for each line, and then it shows you how to specify the domain for each line. The domain is just the values of x that your line will appear for. The two values of x that your line will be between. Now, I'm gonna remind you of a couple different techniques that we've had for doing this. One thing that I'd like to get out of the way real quick is it looks like there is a horizontal line here at the top and at the bottom. And one easy way to take care of that is, well, first of all, I can see that the line is at it's at y equals 4 and y equals -4. And it turns out that if I went and I looked at each of the points on this line, all of these points up here, y equals 4, y equals 4, y equals 4, y equals 4, y equals 4. Now I know you're saying, Weingarten, no, it's a little more. Okay, it's a little more. But essentially it's y equals something. And by the way, if you can remember that thing that we discussed, Hoy Vux, you get a y equals when you have a horizontal line, and it's also known as a zero slope. Just to remind you, we talked about something called Hoy Vux, and if you don't recall seeing it, ask me about it, and I'll remind you. I'll write it out. Anyways, the horizontal lines have zero slope and y equals, and so here we go. So let's try to make y equals 4. And then I guess, oh, and then there it is. There it appeared. And you were right. It's actually a little more than 4. Maybe I could make it 4.1 or 4.2. There we go. That's pretty dang close. If I wanted to be really tricky, 4.15. How about them apples? All right. So now I've got my line, and the other thing I need to do is I need to specify how long or how short it'll be, and I'll do that with the curly Q brackets just like it shows here. And in fact, I could even go, and for that matter, I could just go and copy and paste that, I believe. Control C, and then I'm going to go here, get rid of these brackets, Control V. Oh, dang it. It did not copy the brackets. That's okay, though. I'll put in the curly Q brackets myself. They appear on the keyboard just above the Enter key. And you can also find curly Q brackets with the virtual keyboard, and I'm not sure where they appear. Maybe ABC? Yeah, under ABC you can see extra brackets and such. Okay, so anyways, I've got a regular keyboard, so I'll just type like this. Now, we can see that the line starts too far to the left and goes too far to the right. On the left, I can shorten that by, it looks to me like the line should only go out to about, here's -2, here's -4, -3 must be in the middle. It looks like it's about -2.5. So I'm going to try that. And that's pretty close, maybe 2.4, just to be safe. And then on the other side, it looks like it goes out to, again, here's 2, here's 4, here's 3 in the middle. It must be about 2.5. So I'm going to say 2.5. And then that's a little long, so I'll make it 2.4. There we go. Hey, I'm pretty proud of myself. And the other thing is I want you guys to make it fun. So choose a color. If you click on the color and hold, you'll get a choice of different colors. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to draw some other lines, and I'm going to try to make some pretty colors. All right, what else? Let's try to do a diagonal line. So if I want to do a diagonal line, we'll start off maybe with the -1 first to make sure that you are paying attention and I'm holding your interest. I don't want you to snooze during this one, so let's do it. So to make a diagonal line, there's a couple things we could do. We could do y equals mx plus b, and we could just figure out what the slope of this line is. This is a negative sloping line, by the way. And we could figure out what its y-intercept is, and then we could go ahead and graph the line. Now, there's a couple of ways to figure out the slope and the y-intercept. One way is to try sliders, and that is something that you played with before. And if we try sliders, well, we might try different slopes. Okay, that looks like about the right slope. And then we might try different values of b. until we get to just about the right height. And now I can see that my slope is not really perfect. There we go. That looks better. And then let's bring her in. Hey, not bad. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change the M to negative 1.6. And I'm going to go ahead and change the B to 7.9. And then I can go ahead and use the sliders for another line. So the only thing is I'm not perfectly happy with my slope. So let's go ahead and change that maybe to 1.7. That looks better. I was going to try 1.5 just to see what happened. 1.5 definitely looks worse. You should be going back and forth and trying. Now that I changed the slope, I'm a little bit below where I should be. So I'll raise this guy from 7.9 to 8. And that's still not high enough, so maybe 8.1. And wow, still not quite good enough, maybe 8.2. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks good. Okay, now the next thing I got to do is limit the length of the red line. So again, we're going to go ahead and take these curly Q brackets, and we're going to go ahead. I just copied and pasted. And then look at this. If I use those specifications, I can only see the red line up there. I want to see it down here. So I want to see and by the way, let's make it a color that's different than the one before so that we can make this fun and pretty. We want to go from about 2.5 to about nearly 5. So I'm going to try that. How about 2.5 to about 5? And that's okay. So it's a little short on one end, so maybe 2.4. And then on the other end, it's a little long, so maybe 4.7. That's not bad, maybe 4.8. There we go. Okay, so I'm doing pretty well. And I just wanted to demonstrate a couple of things to you. It's possible that while you're working on this, you might make a mistake. And if let me show you one actual common mistake that can be made. Is this drawing of the hexagon, it's actually just an image. And it's possible that maybe you might accidentally move it. Or maybe you just don't like your equations that are written here. And you want to start over from scratch. If you want to get back, first of all, there's always the undo. So let's see what that does. I'm going to go ahead and click undo. Oh, that's nice. I'll undo again, and then I'll undo again. Okay, so one quick way to get back to where you need to go is hit undo. The other thing is you could click on the gear and then do reset. But if you do that, then you will lose all of your equations. Anyways, I just wanted to remind you that you had those tools to get this right. Now, I believe that is what enough for you guys to go and do some more drawing with Desmos. So good luck.